Alafia aho, I say namaste and blessings to all. Thank you for watching Shadow of Wolves. You asked for it. It is here. Here is the video in speaking about Yabara, what to expect during the time of your Yabara. Are you ready to be a Yawo? Are you ready to make the sacrifices and follow the traditions of the rules of Santeria, of the rules of your godparents' Ile? As long as the Ile, as you know, and you must do your research, they're following respectful traditional guidelines. Trust then the process of your Ile. However, do your research first, okay? Now, many ask, well, what happens? Well, once you receive your beads, you receive your warriors, you know your spirit guides, there are certain practices where spirits come first before we get crowned in Orisha faith. Because once we take that step to be at our godparents' house and under that throne for 7 days, we should already have either spiritual ceremonies, preparations of our spirits before we go to the Orisha. As we all know, some people say Egun comes first, which relates a lot to the Congo spirits and different spirits that are very strong. But we say also our spirits and ancestors come first. You should already have your white table up. You should already have your expectations of whatever the spirit told you, because you are going through 3 prayer masses, which are absolutely beautiful. And it may sound a little strict. So if you're going into Orisha faith with the wrong idea, then this is not for you. If you're going in and you cannot be humble, and when you see, especially as a Yabo, and you see your elders and you mofuribaya and you throw yourself according to who your guardian angel is. So I throw myself flat because my guardian angel is a Chosi. I know Omo Elegua. They throw themselves flat with one leg up. Their guardian angel is Elegua. Omo Ochun will throw themselves from side to side and so forth. But once this is ready to go and you worked with your spiritual ceremonies, which is definitely a must to recognize your spirits first. Even before that day, they recognize spirits first. Once you get in there, you must have already 7 sets of white clothes, unscented soap, unscented toothpaste, no perfumes, no nothing. You are pure. You're a baby being reborn into this world. Women, go without the makeup. That's it. Because you're going without the makeup for 1 year and 7 days. In my son's house, his madrina crowns Aggayu, her house is 1 year and 2 weeks. No exceptions. This is the rules. I'm going by the rules that were many years ago. I'm not going to be able to cover the whole thing. Like, step by step, the video would take hours, but I'm telling you the basics. So now you have gone without makeup. You have gone without hair extensions. You don't have any jewelry except for Orisha jewelry, which is provided by your godparents based on your guardian angel. So if you see somebody with a twisted bracelet like this, most likely they're Omo or Chosi, or they received a Chosi, or they're born from a Chosi, okay? And different bracelets. So this is not a decoration. When you receive the hands of a ruler, some people receive it first. My son's godmother received it many years later. It all depends on your house. So, for example, you have certain colors that go with certain Orishas. Okay, so now when you're going into Yabara, you've already come out of the throne after 7 days. Certain things are being done to you. You're receiving within that time frame of your throne what we call Ita, which is your book of life, where each Orisha speaks on the advices of your life. They come out with different Oduns and binary codes. This usually lasts from a period of 4 to 6 hours with some breaks in between. Whatever is said by each Orisha is still respected by that of your guardian angel crown, okay? So some people, the book looks like this. If you're, I put this one out, Omo Chango will receive an Ita. Some people decorate it differently. Some people have it very simple. You know, it doesn't matter. As long as the information is inside of the book. Omo Chos, you get blue and gold and so forth. But some people have it in a notebook and they decorate it later. It's according to your house. We're not looking at the material of this. We're looking at the Ache that you are receiving. Why are you going into Orisha faith should be your first question. Is it for power? Is it for money? Is it for stability? Is it for growth? Is it to save people? Is it to save yourself and your family? Is it just to live? Because some people receive Orishas to live an extra few amount of years. I don't want to give exactly what years. I'm sorry, my goddaughter's calling. So my point is that your faith depends on you. The Orisha know within what you're going to receive and how you're going to receive, and they know who you are. So, for example, if you get excited, you cannot be excited about when you're going into Orisha faith, later on, I'm going to crown this one, I'm going to crown that one, because that's what it's not about. Orisha will stop you right there. They are very, very strict, because when you have to crown someone, you have to bring that person to your house. They have to have coconuts and candles and their derecho, which is the offering to that Orisha. The godparent has to cut the coconut. They have to, Obi, they have to make Obi, and they have to ask Orisha if they can even touch your head. And Orisha says, no, it's a wrap. Okay, so let's continue moving on. So you're spending your whole year after you've done your mesas and you're out of the throne. When you go to your house and you're walking out of the throne, your mirrors are already supposed to be covered with white sheets, okay? Your mirrors have to be covered with white sheets. You are ready to eat on the floor. You already have your estera. Doesn't matter if it's this color. Some people have blue in the line. Some people have red. So you're already ready for that. You already know that you cannot be out past 6 o'clock unless you are working. Okay, you must be working in order to have the excuse, or going to your godparents' house for a fiesta, for a mesa, your direct godparent. You cannot, with all due respect, should not be going to other santeros' house unless your godparent provides omi tutu and a tutu the floor, an entrance into that house as a yabo. Unless the godparent knows the person and they say, okay, no problem. Let's say, I don't know, Stanley Chango can let you in his house because he knows how to omitu to the floor. I give permission for that entrance. But normally your godparent or your yubon is going to give you omitutu to enter into a house of Santo. Let's continue. So now for 3 months, your sheets are up and everything is prepared. You cannot look in the mirror. Women, once again, you cannot have on no makeup. This applies to anyone that wears makeup. Also, too, your hair has to be natural as possible. The only oils that you can use is cocoa butter. All your soaps are unscented. Believe me, it sounds like, but guess what? It goes by so fast. It goes by so fast. Like when my Yabo got out, she was like, bah! She's wearing her dreads, her heels. The year goes by so fast, year and 7 days, that it purifies you. White purifies you. Not only it has a lot to do with Obatala, Maferefun Obatala, but it also has a lot to do with Olorun and the spirits of the sky and so forth. So this is for your own purification. You are not to be out in the rain. You have to be careful. Women, when you have your long skirt, you have your boombaches, your white boombaches, your leggings under your skirt. You are not stilettos. You're wearing modest. You can wear modest heels or flats, and you should not have your skin showing at least for 3 months. Now, it looks like this too. That's why I wore this to show you. So your long sleeve should be like this, both male and female. After 6 months, my padrino, Raja Ibu Anya Omo Ochun, and his father is a blessing, is Elegua, okay? He allowed me to wear my sleeves up to here. Okay, so I went from, 6 months to here. Now, anything like this is not accepted, honey. Okay, your skirt should be long. Yabos do not wear a short skirt. Now, it's different if you are, with all due respect and humble, humility, if you are in a country that is really limited on resources and clothes, the Orisha understands. If you have nothing to wear but a short skirt, or you're limited in your clothes, they understand. Okay, as long as they're solid clothes, they're not see-through, and this is basically the attire. This should be really, really solid and not see-through. I am not a Yabo. I am 7 years crowned Ochosi already. My mother's Yemaya. I'm born from Ochun. She is my mother too. So you see me like this, okay, but yours really should be solid. It doesn't look solid to you. Now, your skirt should really always, not have, be see-through a hole. So that's why we wear leggings. That's why we wear bobby socks and so forth. For men, it's white pants, white t-shirt, and your hat, you're covering your head. So I'm thinking I basically covered a lot. During this year, you're going to do what's called Ebo Meta. That is where your Orishas are eating again, and they are prayed over, and Obi is thrown, and they're giving certain adimus if necessary, and that must be complete, because if you don't do Ebo Meta within the year, then your santos in most houses cannot be lifted. So mine and my sons stayed on what we call estera. Okay, when you get home, your Orishas go on the floor, they're babies. Okay, and then during that year, you try to do your Ebo Meta and save for that, so you can wake your Orishas up. And then the day of your year, you're still in white because you have 7 days, but you are playing a nice drumming, or you're having a nice, just a little gathering with, flowers and fruits and santeros around you and close friends that you really trust. And, this is the blessing of Orisha. It goes by like that, okay? Like that. During that time, you cannot use Florida water. Not for Orisha. Even when you're doing readings and so forth, you cannot use no other essence. Even if you go to a mesa, or you're one that has permission to do readings to people, you have to use holy water or cascaria. Remember, you have the essence of a baby of Obatala. All right. So during that time, you have your spoon, your plate, and your cup. Okay, some people put a ribbon according to their guardian angel, but never a fork. In 3 months, you get introduced to the table, because we sit on the estera, and in 3 months you get introduced to the mirror. Okay, so this is a whole serious process. Now during the year, after you do Ebo Meta, which we spoke about, refeeding your Orishas again so they get lifted and put high up in their rightful places, most people go through the year or after the year, because I know a lot of people have done it after the year in 5 years, 10 years, but just try to do it. We go through a rites of passage called Fundamento Anya, where we are introduced to the drums, to the Anya. So during the time of your Yabara, you're not supposed to go to any drummings unless your godfather or godmother is there. That means you're your bone, your godmother, your godfather. And that is because you can get mounted with that Orisha, and then guess what? Well, who's going to take care of you? We don't know who's around you to do what. Rightfully so, you're not even supposed to take stuff out of people's hands as a Yabo. You're supposed to put the cup down and let people give you your money. So like you're going to Bravo or McDonald's or whatever. You're not supposed to take anything out of anyone's hand unless it's your godparents. That is it. Or your Oba Oriate with your godparent present. That is it, okay? Or for you that houses that have IFA, or your IFA, Babalawo, Aluo, you can take, but do not take anything out of anybody's hand as a Yabo. You should not be giving anything to anybody. They want something and you want to be respectful, give it to them on a table or on the floor. When it comes to the, drive-thrus, or you have to eat and you're rushing for work, try your best not to make contact with people. Try to cook home-cooked food, and we sit on the stead and eat, okay? So please do know that. Let's go into the fundamental, the Anya. So when they're playing the Congo and they're doing a Weedo, sometimes they do that. They play the Orisha drums, they're playing a Weedo. That you don't need introduction for. When they're playing the Abikula and it's not dressed up, and they're playing the two-headed drums and it's not dressed up, that is okay as long as you're going with your godparent as a Yabo. Now, when they're playing for Anya, Anya is a ceremony. The fundamento is a ceremony of itself. So for that Anya, an introduction to Anya is prepared by the owners of the house. It could be your own godparent if they've already played fundamento, or it could be a hall, a fancy hall, because I've seen those. It could be in a location. In that Anya, okay, that's where you see the dressed up drums and the two-headed drums, and those people have ceremony to play those drums. It's very, very strong. Most of them are Babalawos, Oba Oriate, and so they have big ceremonies, big santeros. They've done something because Anya, why? Anya is an old Orisha, Maferefun Chango. Anya is an old Orisha, and the secrets that live inside of those drums, and they have to be respected. So when the time comes, you put on your royal clothes, your gala clothes that you wore on your throne, and your main godparent will be waiting for you at the drums, just like, it's just like a mother waiting for her baby, like a bride waiting for his groom, and so forth. So that you're being brought out by your yubon. They're holding your arm. Someone is in front of you, and they're throwing the water from the hikari. They're saying, "Oh my obo kuao," and they're singing. You need to follow El Conquistador because he sings that beautiful. But they're singing that, and they're ringing the bell, and and it's beautiful. That's when you're going to get touched. And they're talking to your Orisha, they're pulling that, and then your yubon kind of lets you go, and you do your thing, and then you go, you throw yourself to the drum, you kiss the drums, you salute each drum, and then your godparent pulls you in. That is the right way. My daughter, Omo Chango, who's Crown Chango, this is the right way. She's done it. I've done it. My little son has done it with me. And there's offerings in going to the Anya that you have to bring to the house. Derecho, coco, bella, plato. Sorry, a plate, 2 coconuts, 2 white candles, and the money for the house, for the singers, for the drummers, for the people that are bringing you. Like, it's just so beautiful. And then you have, like Omo Chango, you have to bring a rooster and vino seco. It's according to your house. But let's move on. The beauty of this is your Ori recognizes the Anya, and the Anya recognizes you and your guardian angel. Olorun and those sacred drums that need to be respected witnesses your head. You are not supposed to be in front of there if you have not done it yet. With all due respect, I'm sorry. For those that are crowns, if you did not get introduced yet, when it comes to an Anya, we're not supposed to be dancing in front of the Anya to respect the Anya. The Anya recognizes the Ori, and it's a beautiful ceremony of itself. And it's not a costly ceremony. It's just a beautiful ceremony, being introduced to the Anya. That is beautiful. So in moving right along, once you have that introduction, if you don't have your gala clothes, something happened where the padrino don't want to give, I don't know, moved away or whatever, or they got messed up, you can always go in white. That is also very respectful. And it is a beautiful ceremony, and you're going to feel that energy. I remember Chalawo Chun, I saw her, and I escorted her in to do this, and oh my God, you could just see her Chun energy come down, and she was turning and turning in circles. The same thing that was my blessing, to stand there and wait for an Omo of Chango, and to see her dance and get touch with her guardian angel, and then for us to embrace and to feel that energy. This is a ceremony that's so delicate and so sacred and so beautiful. This is the correct way for the Anya. Respectfully, back then, women did not wear pants in front of the Anya. If they did, they had it under their clothes. Women wear skirt when it comes to being in front of Orisha. Back then, everybody wore white to respect the Anya. So now let's go into when you're going to a regular tambor, okay? You're going into with all blessing. Tambor is beautiful, abikula, and they're playing the drums. Well, when you go in there, say even if you're not a Yabo, and you go in there, the first thing you're really supposed to salute is the throne, because the throne is the witness to heaven. The throne is the Odon. The throne is where you moforibai, and the throne is where you respectfully so, walk with some singles or some money or some flowers or some fruit or whatever, and you give to that Orisha, because it doesn't matter who owns that house or whose throne it is. The throne belongs to the Orisha. So you respect that Orisha. Yes, the human uses it, right? But you're still giving bless that Orisha, because they can get Ochun some sunflowers or Chango, some Epo or whatever. So respect that. But you really should throw yourself to the throne first. And if you're young, the elder lifts you up, an elder there. Okay, if you're a lagwa, oh, we know what to do. They lift themselves up sometimes. Okay, so it all depends. But the throne gets respected first. Then right away, you throw yourself to your godparent. You see your godparent that crowns you right away. Okay, after the throne, then you throw yourself, and your godparent can lift you up from the throne and should, and then you throw yourself to your Yabo. This is the correct way. You know, this is not an easy faith. It's all about Iwa Pele. This is not an easy faith, as the Ita that you receive in this book is going to tell you for Chango, Yemayao, Chun. They usually dress it up according to the guardian angel, and sometimes they just have a regular book. It's just fine. But they're going to tell you your life. You cannot govern and make traditions to tweak your desires or what you want. Tradition is tradition, and it is what it is. We cannot put Florida water or manteca de corojo on you know, the beads, you know, like for example, especially Obatala beads. We cannot do different things. We cannot just refresh our beads with what we want. This is a very strict practice. We have to go in with good and pure faith. We have to go in with love for the Orisha, and we should not go in knowing every single thing. Believe me, and it should be done right. When we're going into Orisha faith, it should be done with all due respect, correctly. That's just the way. You understand? Now, there's different things that godparents have to do with their godchildren, because maybe they're sick, they need their medication in the throne. You know, there's all kinds of stuff. There's different reasons why certain things happening, but all of your body washes for that year should be all natural and unscented, and it goes by really fast because you're purifying yourself. And once you're ready to do it, you know that you are. It's about being humble. When you see elders, even if it's not your godparent, you should say, and you know their crown, you should say, bendición. I sure as heck do. I do. Even if when they texted me, bendición, you know, whatever it is, and they'll tell you santo. It don't have to be your godparents. When the time comes and you, you know, when you see your godparent, bendición, your jabon bendición, your sister, brother, and they're older. If you don't want to say bendición, you can say alafia and blessing. You speak English. That's the right way, because it's not the human being you're talking to. It's the Orisha crowns on their head that you're talking to. And during your Yabo, nothing belongs on your head but the essence of Obatala and your rogations and your white cloth. And that's it. If you have questions, I'm only human. I really tried my best to cover this topic, knowing that cacao, cocoa butter, ori, should, if you want to cleanse your hair and you want your hair to grow back beautiful, you can use ori and cocoa butter, natural cocoa butter in your head. Okay, this is only the essence of, you know, I'm sorry, cascarilla, efun, cocoa butter, okay, and so forth, but nothing else. Just everything has to be pure. And please ask your godparents. Don't do things if it doesn't feel right. Question. That's what you must do. Know that there are traditions within this faith that is just so beautiful. When you're finished, you're on easy street, and it is a blessing. So please stay tuned, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, so I keep my channel going. And remember, if you see a copycat on Instagram or on TikTok, it is not me. There are 2 pages that the people are copying, and they have like 4,000 followers on Instagram and 3,000 on Instagram as well. Those are not me. I'll never solicit you for a reading. We're not supposed to do that. I'll never harass you to do services. People are sent to me through other people, and we do readings face to face or videos. So please. But anyway, please like, share, subscribe, and I hope that helped you. I also forgot to tell you, walk with your towel when your godparent is taking you to different places on town boards, because you cover this on your lap when you're eating and you're sitting on their steta on the floor. Okay, walk with your steta, walk with your cup. My Yabo did, and your plate, and it should be glass, and walk with your umbrella. Okay, so blessings to all of you, and enjoy your Yabara. And for those of you who are almost finished, congratulations, you did it. It's not going to be easy, but you did it. Congratulations. Alafia aho, I say namaste, and blessings to all. Thank you for watching Shadow of War.